Earth is a planet in constant motion, and with it, countless small creatures carry out journeys far greater than we can imagine. At the Animal World TV, we tell true stories of wildlife, survival, and the extraordinary paths life takes on this planet. Today, we follow a bird that completes the longest migration ever recorded on Earth. The Arctic tern. The Arctic tern, scientifically known as Sterna paradisea, weighs little more than 100 grams. It is a delicate creature of hollow bones and slender wings, seemingly too fragile to endure the planet's harshest elements. Yet, this small bird is a true master of the skies. Every year, it embarks on a colossal journey, traveling between 20,000 and 40,000 kilometers from one pole of the Earth to the other, and back again. Over a lifetime, which can span up to 30 years, a single Arctic tern may fly, a distance equivalent to traveling from the Earth to the Moon and back not once, but multiple times. It is a life lived almost entirely in flight, a perpetual dance with the sun, chasing endless daylight across the globe. This incredible feat is not born of ambition, but of an ancient, instinctual drive to survive and provide for the next generation. Its journey is a testament to the remarkable power of adaptation and the sheer will to live, etched into the very fabric of its being. The Arctic summer is brief and unforgiving. For a few precious months, the polar ice recedes, and the tundra awakens in a burst of life. The sun never sets, bathing the landscape in 24 daylight, a phenomenon that fuels an explosion of food resources. This is the world the Arctic tern returns to, a land of stark beauty and immense opportunity. Here, amidst the rocky coastlines and sparse vegetation, the terns find their purpose. Time, however, is the most critical and limited resource. In just a few short weeks, the birds must accomplish the most vital tasks of their lives. They must find a mate, build a simple nest on the cold ground, lay their eggs, and fiercely defend them from predators like Arctic foxes and predatory gulls. Once the chicks hatch, the parents work tirelessly, fishing in the frigid waters to feed their rapidly growing offspring. The endless daylight allows them to hunt around the clock, a crucial advantage in this race against the encroaching winter. The chicks must fledge and gain strength quickly, for the window of opportunity is closing. Soon, they will need to be ready for the most dangerous journey of their lives. There is no signal. No farewell. As the Arctic summer wanes and the days begin to shorten, a palpable restlessness settles over the colonies. The young terns, now fully feathered, test their wings, making short, clumsy flights that gradually become more confident and graceful. They are learning the skills that will keep them alive for the next 9 months. The adults, having fulfilled their parental duties, begin to gather in large, swirling flocks along the coastline, their sharp calls echoing across the tundra. Then, one day, the sky simply begins to move. It is not a single, coordinated departure, but a gradual, rolling exodus. Small groups lift off, followed by others, until the air is filled with thousands of birds. Driven by an unseen clock and an unwritten map, they turn their backs on the land where they were born. With the chilling winds of the coming winter at their tails, the Arctic terns ascend into the sky, heading south toward the great unknown, embarking on a pilgrimage that has been repeated for millennia. Over the open ocean, there are no landmarks. The vast, featureless expanse of the Atlantic stretches to the horizon in every direction, a daunting wilderness of water and sky. For a human navigator, it would be an insurmountable challenge. But the Arctic terns are equipped with a sophisticated and innate guidance system. They navigate using the sun's position as a compass, correcting their course based on an internal biological clock. At night or on overcast days, they are believed to sense the Earth's magnetic field, using it as an invisible grid to orient themselves. Furthermore, these master aviators have an uncanny ability to read and exploit invisible wind patterns, gliding on air currents to conserve precious energy. Each day, they travel hundreds of kilometers, a relentless push southward. This leg of the journey is fraught with peril. They must face powerful storms that can scatter flocks and push them off course, an ever-present threat of predators like falcons and the slow, creeping danger of complete exhaustion. They must find food along the way, diving for small fish and crustaceans near the ocean's surface. It is a high-stakes marathon where every decision can mean the difference between life and death. Arctic terns spend most of their lives in the air. Their bodies are marvels of aerodynamic efficiency, allowing them to remain aloft for incredible lengths of time. They have learned to perform nearly all of life's essential functions while in flight. They feed while flying, swooping down to snatch fish from the water's surface without landing. They even rest while flying, engaging in a form of unihemispheric sleep where one half of the brain remains alert while the other rests. They touch land only when absolutely necessary, primarily during the brief breeding season in the Arctic. This boundless world of sky and sea is a realm of constant struggle and raw beauty. In this vast, open space, every creature, from the smallest plankton to the largest whale, is engaged in a daily fight for survival. This is what the Animal World TV seeks to preserve: the most honest moments of life in the wild. It is a world governed by instinct and necessity, where the drama of existence unfolds in its purest form, far from human eyes. For the Arctic tern, this aerial existence is not a choice. It is the key to its extraordinary life, enabling it to follow the sun across the planet. After tens of thousands of kilometers and months of relentless flight, the Arctic tern reaches the southern edge of the world. The frigid, wind-swept shores of Antarctica come into view, a landscape of towering ice cliffs and vast, floating ice fields. It is a destination that seems as inhospitable as the one they left behind. Yet for the terns, it is a paradise. They have arrived just in time for the Antarctic summer. Here, at the bottom of the globe, the phenomenon of endless daylight is repeated. The 24-hour sun fuels a massive bloom of krill and small fish in the nutrient-rich Southern Ocean, providing an abundant and reliable food source. The terns have successfully escaped the harsh, dark Arctic winter, and now get to experience a second summer each year. They spend their months here resting, feeding, and replenishing the energy reserves they depleted during their epic journey south. They have no nests to build or chicks to raise. This is their season of rest and rejuvenation before the cycle begins anew. But the journey is not over. As the Antarctic summer begins to fade and the days shorten, the same ancient instinct that drove them south begins to stir once more. The rest period is over, and the biological imperative to breed calls them back to the northern hemisphere. The journey is far from a simple return trip. The Arctic tern takes a different route back north, often following a vast, looping S-shaped pattern that takes advantage of prevailing global wind systems. This return leg is just as arduous as the first. The birds must once again cross thousands of kilometers of open ocean, facing the same threats of storms, predators, and starvation. They are now flying towards a promise of another brief Arctic summer, another chance to raise a new generation. This incredible round trip, an ancient cycle repeated for thousands of years, is what defines the Arctic tern. It is a life shaped by the planet's seasons, a continuous pilgrimage between the two poles of the Earth. The Arctic tern does not fly to conquer the world. It flies for a far more fundamental reason: to sustain life. Its extraordinary migration is not an act of exploration, but a brilliant evolutionary strategy. By following the sun from pole to pole, it maximizes its exposure to daylight, giving it more time to hunt and feed than almost any other animal on Earth. It lives in a state of perpetual summer, escaping the darkness and scarcity of winter altogether. This incredible journey ensures that it always has access to the richest food sources, at their peak allowing this small 100-gram bird to raise its young in one of the most productive environments on the planet and then refuel in another. In the wild, every journey has a purpose. Every movement is a calculated response to the rhythms of the planet. The flight of the Arctic tern is one of nature's most profound and inspiring stories, a reminder of the resilience, ingenuity, and interconnectedness of life on Earth. Thank you for traveling with the Animal World TV on this remarkable migration.